Hey guys, it's April from Getting Hugga With It. Today I'm doing a bit of a different video on BookTube. So essentially this whole video is about the books that I think you should read if you've just gone through a breakup. Breakups suck so bad. They are horrible. And I think everybody kind of expects you to, cry a little into your tub of ice cream and move on, and you'll find the next guy or girl and you'll be fine. Buck up, it just wasn't the right person. I think breakups can just be a little bit more intense than that. This is my little breakup remedy for you. These are books that have helped me in the past with breakups, or books that I think I probably should have read during some breakups. When you've first broken up with someone, you need to just cry. Sometimes you need 5 boxes of Kleenex, and you need long showers and time to just weep. So I recommend reading Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Now I know this is not everyone's cup of tea, and I can respect that, but this book actually really did pull me through a breakup. And it's great because it starts out with her on the bathroom floor, just bawling uncontrollably. Her marriage is over, she realizes, in the middle of the night. And even though it's her breaking up with someone else, the way that she is just heartbroken, it doesn't really matter. If you happen to have been broken up with, this will still speak to you. Not only will this prompt you to get some good tears out yourself, but it also helps to navigate you back to yourself and back to your own life. And you stop thinking about, what he's doing or what she's doing and why and all of those insane thoughts that you have, but you start to kind of look a little bit inside instead. I also love this book because it takes place in 3 locations, and each location has very distinct things that she discovers in those places. So in Italy, she eats. And I think what I loved about the Italy section is the novelty. She's just had this horrible breakup. The first place she goes is where she's learning all sorts of new things. She's learning a new language. She's eating great food that she never would have allowed herself to eat before. So it's about novelty. And I think having a little novelty after a breakup is the perfect thing. Next, she goes to India, where she prays, and there she discovers herself again. She has lost track of who she is all of this time in this marriage, and it's time for her to get back to herself and really face herself. And I think that's also something that you really need to do after a breakup. And last, she goes to Indonesia, where she finds love. And I found that section really helped me to have some hope again, because after a breakup, you can just feel like it's just not worth it. I'm off of men. I'm done. That section really helps you to realize that's just one chapter of your life, and there are so many more chapters to come. So I would start with Eat, Pray, Love. Next, I would read Heartburn by Nora Ephron. Nora Ephron wrote Heartburn to work through the downfall of her own marriage. Her husband had cheated on her after she had had a newborn, and left her. And she was devastated, of course. So she wrote this book. It follows Rachel, who's a cookbook author, and she is pregnant, and her husband cheats on her with her best friend. And it's devastating to her, of course, but there's also so much humor thrown in. And what I like about this book for someone who's going through heartbreak themselves is to show them, Nora Ephron had pretty much the worst thing that could happen to you happen to her. And not only was she able to survive it, she was able to work through it through humor. And she was also kind of able to get back at the guy by writing a book about him. Everybody knew this was about him. The other book that I think would be really good after a breakup is Bridget Jones's Diary. Now, I think this is a good one for girls who don't know their own worth and girls who always seem to be attracted to the bad guy or guys who just don't understand her worth. I think this is a great one for that because you watch Bridget Jones kind of chase her boss throughout the majority of this book. The whole time you're reading it, you're like, why are you doing this, Bridget? Like, he's a jerk to you. Obviously, this isn't good. I think sometimes when you see yourself in a character who's making all sorts of bad choices and who you're rooting for, who you want better for, I think it can really help to make you a little more self-protective. And sometimes you really need to do that in future relationships. So that is the third book that I would recommend after a breakup. And then the last one is a self-help. Like, I know so many people hate self-help books on BookTube, and I respect that. So if you want to cut out now, go ahead, no problem. But I would recommend Meeting Your Half Orange. This book really helped me when I was like full of jaded. Like, I just did not think that the dating thing was going to work for me. I was angry at men, to be honest, but there was this like little tiny spark of hope. I still really did want to find the love of my life, and I still really did want to be loved, and this book helps me with that. So it helps you to really focus on yourself, but also be open-minded to inviting someone else into your life. It also really helps you narrow down what you want to look for in someone. It helps you to kind of reevaluate the checklist that you have. Like, some people have checklists like, he needs to be tall, he needs to have a job in finance, he needs to make this much money, and all of these things that can lead you down a really bad path. It helps you to focus on another list, which is, what qualities do you want in the person instead of like material bullshit. So I absolutely loved Meeting Your Half Orange. I have definitely pressed it into the hands of other women who are single that I love dearly and I want the best for. And I think it's just the type of book that after you've gone through the sadness of a breakup and after you've worked through the anger and you start to have like just this little inkling of hope of like, you know, maybe there is someone else out there for me. I think this is a great book to help you realign your values and what you actually want and what you actually need in a relationship. So tell me what you think about, you know, videos like this. I've never done anything like this. I actually haven't seen this kind of thing on BookTube a lot before. It's a bit of like literary therapy, but sometimes a good book is just what you need when you are going through a difficult time. And I really do hope that some of these books help you if you are going through a breakup or if you know someone who's going through a breakup. They are rough, and I'm sorry. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think, and also what books have helped you after a breakup. I would really love to know that, and I'm sure other people would too. So let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye!